Ireland has always had the reputation of being a very religious country, but recently all that's changed. The power of the church here is no more.
In its place, new religions are filling the void, ready to exploit vulnerable people looking for that spiritual guidance. So on tonight's show, we expose some of the sinister elements of these religions.
Exactly who are the people behind them?
Just where do they get their money?
And could you be their next target?
It's all coming up on Exposed, Ireland's secret cults.
Off the west coast of Ireland, on the island of Achill, Christina Gallagher has been operating an organisation called the House of Prayer for almost 20 years. Her followers see her as a holy visionary who claims to speak regularly with the Virgin Mary. So what exactly has Our Lady been telling her?
Way back before there was a word for tsunami, I seen the first tsunami. The one world currency, one world bank, one world government, and one world church. You have learned nothing from all the catastrophes throughout the world. The head or our governments will be no more than puppets. To do anything, you'll have to have the chip, which is the mark of the beast.
We obtained this footage of Christina apparently having one of her visions. The packed audience of followers watches on in awe, and why wouldn't they, when apparently her prayers have also cured everything from cancer to multiple sclerosis. But don't take our word for it. This is her spiritual director, Gerard McGinnity. He interprets her apocalyptic visions, which threaten doom and destruction if you don't donate. He's also the parish priest in the small village of Knockbridge, County Louth.
The most frequently cured condition is cancer. Cancer of virtually every part of the body has been healed.
We're meeting a man who used to attend the House of Prayer and has agreed to speak to us anonymously. We'll call him John. He says it has about 5,000 core followers now, and he remembers two visions in particular.
One, she said the world was going to end within a couple of years, and it was going to be from a nuclear holocaust. And she said 2/3 of the world would be wiped out, and half of the 2/3 that would be wiped out would be good, and the other half would be bad. And that's the way it was. I heard Father McGinnity as well talking about the earthquake, if you remember, in Indonesia, and which killed thousands and thousands of people in Thailand and Indonesia. And he said that one of the main reasons was because of the paedophile rings in Thailand. The Lord had seen it and was so dismayed at what was going on that he had decided that he would take the matter into his own hands.
Christina was a humble housewife when she claims she had her first vision of Our Lady in 1988, but more soon followed. And in July 1993, the then Archbishop of Tuam, Dr. Joseph Cassidy, officially opened the House of Prayer. Back then, the church was fully behind the project. 5 years later, following an investigation, the next Archbishop, Dr. Michael Neary, banned the saying of Mass, confessions, and all other sacraments there. In the mid-90s, Christina also claimed to have the stigmata, the crucifixion wounds of Jesus, someone she says she also gets messages from. This footage is part of a Granada program made at the time. But if her supporters see her as a visionary, her opponents say she's a charlatan who has scammed elderly people into donating their life savings to her. The House of Prayer has gone international too over the years, with 5 branches in the US and even one in Mexico. Meanwhile, the money has poured in. Another person has agreed to speak to us anonymously. Anne used to attend the House of Prayer on Achill before eventually seeing the light.
There are people who will hang on every word that Father McGinnity says, and if it's coming from Our Lady, of course, as the answer was, you've heard it, we must give it. And people mortgage houses, took out equity in houses, to credit union loans, and millions and millions of pounds were raised. Cash was given in envelopes, cheques were given, but they felt that they were given it and that the motive was that it was because Our Lady asked for it and they would be rewarded in some way for that.
In 1996, Christina bought this house in Newport, County Mayo, and spent another £300,000 on home improvements. Father McGinnity got his own room in it too. But questions started to be asked. Where did a woman with no visible means of income get all this money? Were the donations not to help with Our Lady's work? Christina and Father McGinnity decided to go on TV to explain.
wealthy. I never was short. My husband was always well able to take care of me and my family. I got a substantial amount of money from a royalty from my book. Many come and they give nothing. There's some come and they may buy a book, buy a few medals.
This is it's the only chapel or church that I'm aware of with the public coming where there isn't a collection.
Who is the House of Prayer accountable to? Who's accountable for the House of Prayer in the bottom line?
The House of Prayer has a checkbook, and every receipt for everything that's got has to be accounted for to the accountant. Everything that's bought has to be bought through the checkbook. So there's no one can...
Who holds the keys and the signatories of the checkbook? Who is accountable? Is it you?
There's two people involved in being able to sign a cheque for whatever is needed for the house.
The same as in any religious order or religious house.
There's
usually the bursar or superior and superior or whatever.
Do you mind me asking who those people are?
Well, there's me and there's the secretary of the house.
Christina bought a house close to Achill with, she says, monies from royalties and her husband's established business. But because of rumours, she is continuously harassed by the press.
Once they discovered it was my house because of the big wall, and the big wall really was to keep people out, because I found myself with journalists looking in my bedroom window and writing about what was in my bedroom. And I think if you can really experience what a wall is all about, it's a prison.
That programme 13 years ago is the last interview Christina Gallagher has ever given. Clearly she thought that by keeping her head down, people would leave her alone. And her plan almost worked. You see, Christina was always rumoured to live in a big house up in Dublin. And in 2008, Sunday World journalist Jim Gallagher found it. It's here in the Abington estate, in the plush north side suburb of Malahide. And it's worth millions. We decided to pay it a visit.
Millionaire pop stars Ronan Keating lives here. Nicky Byrne from Westlife lives here. But she has the biggest, second biggest house on the estate, bigger than these pop stars. It was purchased for 3.5 million in April 2006. By the time we found it, it was worth about €4 million. And she'd done a lot of work to it. She lived here secretly. Nobody knew she was here. It's an amazing house. It's a 5-bedroom, 5 ensuite bedrooms, 5 reception rooms, a coach house for 3 garages. Now we have to ask ourselves,